and gentlemen, welcome back to a whole new episode of Full Steam Ahead. I'm your host, Zoe, with my co host, Cantu, on the other side, right there, really in the middle. And we have a special guest in the house today, three-time All-Star, 11-time Gold Glove infielder, used to coach and first base over there for the Detroit Tigers, 24-year veteran. My gosh, I don't know how you done it. Omar Vizquel, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. How you doing?
Doing well over here. Yeah, again, like Lorenzo said, thank you for joining us. It's a really great opportunity. And honestly, talking baseball with such a prolific player like you, it's always a great show, and always very honored to do that.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you noticed, but the episode number is 213, and that's the number that I wear almost my whole career.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
I'm just noticing that. Yeah.
Yeah, give us the backstory. Actually, how you've gotten your number. Was it kind of like given to you, or did you want, the number that you specifically wanted getting up to the big leagues?
You're breaking up, man. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear it now. Okay, you were speaking about my number, right?
Correct. So, were you given your number, or how did that go coming up to the big leagues? Like,
Is there
give us the
backstory on
background
it?
of your number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the signal.
Oh no.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, it's broken up a lot. I
Okay.
mean, I can't really hear you what you're saying.
Angel, maybe you ask.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're asking is, you said that this episode's 213 and you were 13. Is there a backstory of you wearing number 13, or how did they come to be?
Yeah, David Concepcion was my hero when I was growing up in Venezuela. He was wearing number 13 for the Cincinnati Reds. And every time he come to play to my city, I went to the games, and we kind of watch his game, and that's how I start falling in love with that number.
That's awesome. Yeah. So really great players have worn that jersey, including you. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes. I don't know if y'all guys can hear me on my side. Maybe it's my connection,
Yeah, I
or
got you.
you're good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Omar,
I
real
hear
quick.
you.
Okay, let's talk about the Astros. In the very beginning, it didn't look like it was going too well for them. Like in the 24 games, that was like a 7-19 record. Just wasn't a great spot. And now, as of today, I mean, they're first place in the American League West division, with 4.5 games in front of a team that you used to play for, the Seattle Mariners. What did you think about this team in the beginning part of the season? What kind of difference have you seen from the beginning to now, where they're at as of right now?
Well, sometimes when you have a new manager, a new coaching staff, it's hard to get things going. Sometimes that confidence that you got with your main guy is not there. And I believe that every team, when you go through a new manager, is hard to get the chemistry going. And I think that's what happened with the Astro. Even though they have a great team, I think it was that slow process of getting used to everybody, how things were gonna be running and all that. And it took a while. I think that we were sitting in May, June, and we were talking about, wow, what are the Astros are gonna do? Are they gonna be sellers or are they gonna be buyers? We don't know the destiny of this team right now. And then all of a sudden, they start to putting things together. The rotation start coming along. The guys are swinging the bat really good, and everything start clicking. No doubt that they had a great team, that they have the pieces that can take them all away. And I think they're showing that right now. Everybody is doing their part. I think the bullpen is very good. They play solid defense, and obviously they score a lot of runs. So the question always been about Verlander, if he can last or if he's gonna pitch. And now I think that's the only question mark that the Houston Astros are dealing with.
Yeah, I love how you're bringing that point of like a new manager. To start the season, there was six Latino managers, now five. Fortunately, Pedro Grifo's out with the White Sox. But what does it mean to the game of baseball to have that those Latinos leading their baseball team?
It's really good. It gives the Latino players confidence to believe that they belong there. That you gotta have a guy that is gonna back you up because they know where you came from and they know all the sacrifice that you have to do to get there. And the communication that you can have with him is gonna be completely different. And knowing that he speaks your own language, that you're not gonna make a mistake by saying something that you're gonna regret later on. And I think that communication is very important, especially if you're a young player. In the beginning of your career, you need that guy. You need that support from the coaching, from to tell you how good you has been improving, how hard you've been working, and that give you a lot of confidence for you to go out on the field and perform at the top of your abilities. So as a veteran players, is it's okay. You understand the game. You've been there, and you know the things that you gotta do. But as a young player, it's very important.
Did you have anybody like that in the beginning of your career to help you out?
Well, in the beginning, I didn't have a Latino manager.
Hmm.
I find a Latino manager later on when I was already in the big league for 12, 13 years. And that was Felipe Alou. That was the first Latino manager that I run into. And then Ozzie Guillen was the other one with the White Sox. But, I never had the opportunity to work with a young manager that was in my team.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're speaking of like coaching, you're saying because you used to be a coach with the Detroit Tigers and you're saying speaking with the same language, how can that help a young player too in their development? Because knowing you've worked with Miguel Cabrera over there at Detroit, how does that help in the clubhouse, the camaraderie and everything like that?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, Miguel was already a veteran. He was the leader of that team. Victor Martinez was there. Aníbal Sanchez was a pitcher that was there. But I did work with a shortstop, a young Cuban shortstop named Iglesias, Jose
Yeah.
Iglesias,
I was
up and
saying.
coming. He has some few years in the big league, and it was a really good process for me. He a guy with a great talent, and I think that I help him out to believe on his confidence and do things on the field that are not gonna rub the wrong way to a different guys. And that message that comes from the front office, from the manager, you can communicate and translate to him differently. And I think that he really listened, and you can see how well he play those years there.
Yeah, and Jose Iglesias having a pretty comeback year with the Mets this season, so he's still out there doing his thing.
Not to
Uh,
mention too about his song.
He's
Have
doing
you
yeah,
heard
great.
it? What do you think about the song too, Omar?
have you heard it?
Yeah, no, the song is good. I mean, he's he looked like a disco guy out there. He has those abilities. I know he like music. He shared his music talent when he was with Detroit, but this time he had the opportunity to put it out in the world. I think those time off that he had on the field helped him out to put something together, and I think people really enjoy it. So it was really cool. I like it.
Yeah, speaking of shortstops, I know the Astros have a young shortstop in Jeremy Peña. He won a Gold Glove, but recently there's been a spell of him. I think there was a point where he had 6 errors in 18 games, like something like that. And it was, there's been some costly ones. What do you think is going on with like with Jeremy Pena as of right now? Like, is it like a mental ability? Like, I'm sure the mechanics are there. Obviously, he's proven himself time and time with that Gold Glove. But you think it's more of a mental thing, or what do you might be going on with the young shortstop?
Yeah, yeah. You go through periods of time when your mechanics get all screwed up. Maybe during batting practice you were fooling around a little bit, and you get bad habits, and you take that into the game. I think the most important thing for a young player is to kind of go out on the field and practice the way that you're gonna play. If you do that, you're gonna make plays easier, and you're gonna be on that situation 100 times. But if you don't focus during practice and you do things the wrong way, I think that you get out of focus a little bit, and that carry into the game. Another thing that can maybe get you into slump is like if you're not hitting. Sometimes when you're not hitting and you're going through a slump, you can take that into the defensive part. And one of the things that we really like to tell the infielders is that you have to leave that in the dugout, and you got to concentrate now to do something better on the field so you can contribute for the winning of the team. So you have to learn how to separate all these things, and I think he's going through that process. He's a young guy that is getting a lot of help. He got success early when in his first year he had an amazing year. Then he got the MVP of the playoff and World Series or something, and then all of a sudden he was right on the top, and he thought that things were gonna be easy for him, and then all of a sudden the pitcher starts starting him, and now he knows that it's not as easy as he thought, and he's battling now. He's learning new things. He adjusting to different process. So he's a great player, upcoming with great talent.
Yeah, that's the thing about baseball. I feel like it can take you, it can make you feel like the best player in the world, but also it can make you feel like the worst player in the world at times.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen only with young guys. It happen also with veteran players. Sometimes you can't find your spots or you can't find your swing. It take a while for you to get going. It's not as easy as people think. That's why you have to practice good, and you have to really dedicate your time to be on the field and marry with baseball. You got to spend a lot of hours on it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and going back to the managers of like Angel said, I mean six, and now there's five Latino managers. Joe Espada being one of those guys, and him being the bench coach for the Astros for a good while, from AJ Hinch to Dusty Baker, and now he's getting his shot as manager. What are your first thoughts of him? Seeing him manage through these type of games in different situations and different scenarios. What are your thoughts as for him being as a manager for his first year?
Well, I think he's getting very good at it. I know that he wanted to manage before. He had that opportunity now, and I think he's ready. There is no doubt that a front office like the Houston Astros are very one of the best front office that are in baseball, and I'm sure they make the right decision when they name him the manager. He had good people around him. Omar Lopez is a good friend of mine, and I know how important is to have a guy that give you all that information that you need and all that. And I think Joe has been doing great. In the beginning, I know that he's probably losing his mind because he got this huge responsibility and things weren't going his way. We see the Houston Astros in last place, and everybody was worrying a little bit. But at the end, I think they make it happen. You have to tip your hat up to the coaching staff, to him, and to everybody to get involved in that process because it's so easy to start bad and just start pointing fingers and start blaming people for the losses. And they stay cool. They believe in the process. That's one of the things that we got to mind in the beginning of the season. It's a long season. A lot of things can happen, and it was a great test for them to run into those problems early and to know that they came out of it. I think it's just amazing.
Yeah. And then two, you had mentioned about Justin Verlander, what he's going through. I'm pretty sure at the time when you were with Detroit, if correct me if I'm not wrong, was Justin Verlander still on the roster with them?
Yes.
Okay. Knowing that you've been around him, what he's going through right now, and I mean, there's been a big topic over it after that last start against Arizona. Do you think he has the opportunity to be a starter in the postseason if this trend kind of continues on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, he still have two more stars to go, and I think they're gonna really take a look deeply of what's going on, if it is an injury or not. The good thing is that he hasn't said that he's injured. He's coming back from an injury, and that's gonna take a little bit of time for him to get into his 1% at top of the condition. He's still battling to find the strike zone. I heard the interview yesterday or 2 days ago where he said his breaking pitch weren't quite sharp as he wanted it, and that's why he got behind in the count. And then when he tried to throw strike, he was getting hit. But this is one of the things that happen when you stay in the DL for a while, and then you try to find all your form and your techniques in the right way. And I tell you that he's studying his pitching right now. He's a very a guy that like to work a lot. He like to watch his videos all the time and very picky about the way that he works. And I know that right now he's making some changes for his windup or whatever he have to do to get better. He's a battle. He's a very competitor, and I think he's gonna rebound and do good in the playoff.
Yeah, I think he's going to be one of the key pieces for the Astros if they do want to go far. I think one of those key pieces as well is Jose Altuve. Like I know both of you are Venezuelan. Do y'all have any like communication with each other? Is there a relationship there between you and Jose Altuve? Uh, were you able to hear the question? Sorry.
I no, I just didn't hear what you were saying.
Oh,
You got cut off a little bit.
sorry about that. No, I was just asking. You and Jose Altuve are both from Venezuela. Uh, both. No, do you want to try so?
Yeah, can you hear me on my side, Omar? Or maybe it's his connection,
I
possibly.
think so.
Yeah, he's frozen on my end.
Now I got you now.
You're on mute, Joe.
No, I was gonna say go ahead and see if you can ask him again.
Can you hear it? Can you hear us now?
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. No, I was asking. I know you and Jose Altuve are both from Venezuela. Is there any relationship there? Do you talk constantly, or what can you tell me about the relationship between you and Jose Altuve?
No, I know Jose a little bit. I don't have that relationship that we can call each other often and stuff. I have a more relationship with a guy that work in the bullpen named Javier Bracamonte.
Mm-hmm.
He worked together with me when we were in Venezuela. We were good friends, and of course, I know a little bit about him and Jose Altuve. But and Omar Lopez, who also was my coach when we were in the baseball classic. I managed the classic on the 16, and Omar was one of the coaching staff, and we had a really good relationship. So it's great to have friends like that in a team that's supposed to be in the World Series.
Absolutely. Judging Jose Altuve's career, do you think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, or do you think he'll be in the Hall of Fame eventually?
No doubt. I think he's a first vote Hall of Famer. All the things that he done, and especially in the playoff, when the things are really important, I think he deserves a lot of consideration to be in the Hall of Fame on the first vote.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And you already had mentioned about being around with Omar Lopez and the WBC World Baseball Classic. What can you tell us about last year's World Baseball Classic under Omar Lopez as the manager? I mean, because they looked really sharp
Man,
going
amazing.
into the quarterfinals.
Yes, I know. We were one pitch away, man, to go to the finals. They show a new format, and Venezuela was on top. They were dominating the United States on that famous game where we lost 4-2. Grand slam of Trey Turner on the eighth inning. One pitch. I mean, the pitcher hang a split finger, and he didn't do anything. And he delivered it, put it on the stands, and it was pretty tough to come back from that. But we played really good. We had a great team out there, and we felt very proud of that Venezuelan team. And I hope that they can name him manager again. He knew everything that he was doing, and I'm very proud to how he handled himself in the classic.
I see you're wearing the shirt. Do you have any aspirations, like helping Omar Lopez coach uh, for the next one?
No, man, it will be great. It happened by coincidence that I grabbed the first shirt that was on top of my closet and I put it on, and it just happened. But I'm very, very excited by everybody that was part of that coaching staff. They know what they're doing. They got a good group of guys, and I think, excuse me, I think we're gonna
Bless
be
you.
again for the next classic.
Absolutely.
And talk to us too. I mean, what is that environment like playing for your country, having the colors on you, having that crowd around you? What is it like playing in a game like that? Because I don't think it's a comparison to the World Series just for the fact that the fans are so involved with all
Mhm.
the instruments around playing music. It just feels like you're back at home.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be in the best team of your country. As you grow up, you want to shine. You want to try to be the best of what you do. And I just watched the Olympic and all the proud moments that these people bring to their countries. And I think this is our Olympics because there's not all the opportunity for baseball players to represent their country this way. And it's just an amazing feeling, man. Just turn around and you're next to Miguel Cabrera, you're next to Altuve. I mean, you see Felix Hernandez on the left side, you catcher Salvador Perez. I mean, there's so many great players. Sometimes you don't know them all, but it just when you see him play, you just feel like another little kid. It's like, oh my God, look at this! Wow, I'm right next to this guy. So it's an amazing feeling, and very good that you had the opportunity to represent your country.
Absolutely. I feel like watching it on the TV doesn't do it justice as you're either in the stands or in that dugout for sure.
And what's the future like? You were talking about these players. I mean, you still got guys like Anthony Santander, who's like third, I want to say, in Major League Baseball with home runs. He just hit his
It's
40th.
40. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Altuve, Cabrera, Salvi Perez. Uh, but the future of baseball in general for the country of Venezuela, you got Jackson Chourio that's going to be in the Rookie of the Year conversations. You got Pache with Pablo Lopez still being one of those guys that's going to be that prime guy in that rotation of the Twins coming this postseason. Can you tell us what is that future going to be like for that country of representing in the next WBC or just in general for the whole country of Venezuela?
Man, it's great. Every time that we have the opportunity to see these young guys coming up, you don't know many of them. You don't really heard about these guys, and they are in the big leagues already with 20 and 21 years old. I just came back from there, and I work with a lot of kids and a lot of academies, and it's crazy the talent that you see on these kids. 13, 14 years old, the answer that they give you from the questions that you cannot present to them is just very mature, and I think the most important thing is like, yeah, you find a lot of talent, but getting the level of intelligence that you can deal with problems, that you can face a lot of barriers and challenges.
I think he cut off. Nope, you got it.
And now I think the that level of intelligence is very, very good. There has been a lot of psychologists and a lot of people that are doing their part to prepare these people, to these players, to get to the American baseball, and the adjustment has been quicker, and I think that's very important.
So, is it fair to say that the future for Venezuelan baseball is in good hands? For the next,
Very good hands, very good. You're gonna see a bunch of people coming up. Like I said, all the academies and schools in Venezuela has been growing, and they're really teaching the game the right way. I'm very proud of that.
that's awesome.
I completely
Um,
forgot to put Ronald Acuna Jr.
yeah,
on that list.
it's another good one there. Uh, Roberto Clemente Day is in 5 days, September 15th. I know he's done a lot for baseball. When you hear that name, Roberto Clemente, what does it mean to you?
It means like a god, because we never met him personally, but every story that you hear about Roberto was about getting back to the community, how good he was with the kids, how well he was around his friends, and this is what it's all about. When you are an image to any team, you in the big leagues, you're supposed to give back to your community. And Roberto was one of the first guys that did that. Matter in fact, when he passed away, is because he was giving something to the community. So it's amazing career, but even better is an amazing person.
I feel like you couldn't have said that any better. That was pretty remarkable there.
Hmm.
And real quick, let's talk a little bit about your career. We've been talking about a little bit of the Astros, the WBC. We haven't even talked about a little bit of Omar Vizquel. I mean, 11-time Gold Glove winner, 9 consecutive seasons from 1993 to 2001. One of the best shortstops in the game. I kid you not. You are one of the best shortstops in the game. What would you count to your success of having so many Gold Gloves awarded to you throughout them seasons? What has kept you on tack of being a defensive wizard on the infield?
Well, when I get to spring training, I think I always dream to get another Gold Glove. You know, it's a tough competition out there. You want to show that you are better and better every year. And obviously, my weakness was the bat and the hitting. Even though I was hitting second in very good lineups, you know, I was doing the little job of bunting and hit and run and doing all the stuff. But I was never a left-hander hitter, and I started on that process really late in my career when I was in Double A already. So for me, it was I worked twice as hard as my hitting that in my defense, and the defense came naturally. But obviously, I play in a lot of bad fields when I was in Venezuela, and I think that really gave me the abilities to, to move quick and react quicker to the ball. And I felt very proud of of my defense part of the game.
What was kind of like your routine though? Like going into spring training, did you have like some sort of routine that you kind of followed every time you took the field before BP or during BP?
Yes, I try to take the field and take 30 ground balls. I put myself into game situations, throw the ball to first base, and then turn some double plays, with the guys that I'm going to play that particular day. And I think that prepared me to the game. Now they give you a lot of reports on how to play or where to go and stuff like that. But before, you used to study videos by yourself and see where the guys were going to hit the ball. You have to know your pitcher, you have to know counts, you have to know all the stuff. And I think right now it's a different way. You have like a little paper in your pocket and they kind of put you in different parts of the field. But before, you have to really do your homework. And I think that really pay off when I take the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You say that hitting wasn't your best suit, but you're almost at 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
Uh, and you played for 24 seasons, so I'm sure that's pretty remarkable there. Do you remember your first home run and the pitcher who it was against?
My first home run was against Jimmy Key. He was a left-handed pitcher that was pitching for the Blue Jays on those days.
Yes.
And I hit my first home run in the Kingdom in Seattle. I was playing for the Mariners, and very excited to get. I got the ball and everything, so it was a really good moment for me.
Yeah, that's correct. I was looking it up. See, you remember it was Jimmy Key. It was in the 7th inning of that game.
Yeah.
What's the secret though, Omar, for playing Major League Baseball for 24 years? You don't see a lot of durability in a lot of these athletes. Even in different sports, in football, soccer, basketball. I mean, what's the secret? I would say for playing baseball through the grind, blood, sweat, and tears. Broken bones or fractures and all that type of stuff. Give us your secret of playing baseball for that many years.
I think you have to love to work out. First of all, you have to love the passion to be on the field, and you know that your body is not gonna get any younger unless you stay in the gym. When you work out and you try to adjust to different process, and when the time is going by, you cannot only lift weights. You have to stretch. You have to do yoga. You have to do a lot of different things so you stay active, especially on the position that I play, shortstop, where
Mhm.
you have to jump side to side. You have to be quick movement. So you have to learn a lot of different type of exercises to help you stay there. And I found the way to do it and different type of workouts, and I think that kept me alive during all those years. And I was lucky enough that I didn't get a bad injury, I got a knee surgery and I have a shoulder surgery, but I was able to rehab it and stay in the gym. And I think that really was the secret of my success.
Pretty
Heard that,
awesome, man.
Angel? Hey, you heard that, Angel? You got to go to the gym. Got to go to the gym. Very important. Ed, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good. That was it for me.
One last question for me, Omar. On the Hall of Fame ballot with a bunch of guys that are in prized possession of trying to get to, I would say, the Mecca in Cooperstown, New York. What does it mean for you to be a part of that list, to be on the ballot? I believe this is going to be your ninth year on the ballot as well. But just tell me, just seeing your name from being so young, wanting to play baseball, wanting to play on a major league team, I'm pretty sure, to seeing your name on that ballot and hopefully get to Cooperstown.
Well, I think it's gonna be my 8th year, so I have 3 years.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and it's amazing. When your name come up, there is a lot of opinions. People always want to talk about your game and say, oh, he deserves to be, or he doesn't deserve, or he doesn't have the number. It's just pretty cool that they compare you to one of the best guys that are already there. They always mention Luis Aparicio, who is the only Hall of Famer from Venezuela that is there, and it's great to hear the comparisons and the numbers and all that. So to me, is an honor to be mentioned in the Hall of Fame talk, and hopefully someday I can have the opportunity to fight for a spot there.
That's awesome.
Most definitely, because we could be saying, hey, we're talking to a Hall of Famer right now. I know I said I had one more last question, but I do want to follow up with another one. Do you have a fond memory being back in your country as a young little boy, playing baseball on the fields? I mean, do you have that one specific memory that goes through your head, saying, "Wow, I mean, I started from here with this type of equipment," or anything like that you would like to share?
I think one of the most amazing stories was when I played with the Griffey father and son combination. They brought Ken Griffey Sr. to the team when we were in Seattle, and seeing that relationship between Ken Sr. and Jr. Remind me of how my dad dedicated a lot of hours to train me and to help me out on my career. It was some great moments around that relationship, and I lost my dad 5 years ago, but I know that him and my mom were the people that took me to the ball games, and they were guiding me every moment. They teach me everything that I know, the values of the game, the discipline, and everything that goes along with that. Without my family, I don't think I would have never make it, and I have to give him a lot of credit for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Honestly,
most definitely. And before we go, give us your postseason matchups. Give us your postseason teams that are going to make it. Who could be the guys holding the World Series trophy at the end of this 24 season?
Wow. Well, there is two favorites always, in each league. I think the Dodgers and Arizona are very good to be in the National League, both in the same league. And I know there is some great numbers for the Phillies. A lot of people are rooting for them too. Last year we had a surprise of Arizona getting into the World Series. And then in the American League, I have to go with the Astros, man. The Astros have a pretty good team. They've been playing solid baseball all the time. I know the Guardians are in the first place in the Central Division. And who else is there on the other side? Let me see if I have some numbers. The Yankees. Go to tell you the truth. There is the Orioles have a great chance. I think the Orioles look better than the Yankees, even though they're one game behind. But everything is gonna depend on how the matchups are gonna fit. I stay with Houston in the American League, and maybe gonna say the Phillies in the National League.
little rematch.
A
Yeah.
little 2022 World Series rematch. Who lifts the trophy at the end of the day?
Man, I'm gonna just leave it all to your imagination. I don't want to get in trouble.
No worries. But Omar, we do really appreciate taking your time out of your day to talk some baseball of your career, the Astros, of course, and give us that World Series matchup at the end of this season.
All right, let's see. Maybe we see you at the game one of these days, man.
Absolutely.
Most
Oh,
definitely. But appreciate everybody tuning in to talk baseball with Omar Vizquel. And then we'll give y'all the recap against the Athletics and get that preview going against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Till then, everybody have a safe week and talk to y'all soon.
thank
Thank you.
you.